Hello, and welcome to a rather marvelous adventure. We are about to embark on a journey through Vietnam, a country that sings with life, color, and a history that stretches back for thousands of years. For the next 10 days, we will explore its bustling cities, float upon its emerald waters, and meet the wonderful people who call this place home. Our trip will take us from the vibrant energy of the capital, Hanoi, in the north, all the way down to the sun-kissed beaches and ancient towns of Daang and Hoan in the central region. This is a land of contrasts, where ancient pagodas stand beside modern cafes and quiet rice paddies lie just beyond the hum of city traffic. Come with me, and let's discover it all. Our journey starts in Hanoi, a city that feels like a living museum. It is a place where every narrow street and hidden alleyway seems to tell a story. Here, we will taste the famous egg coffee, wander around a beautiful lake, and even witness a train passing just inches from our cafe table. From there, we will take a day trip to the magnificent Ha Long Bay, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, where thousands of limestone islands rise dramatically from the sea. It is a sight that truly takes your breath away and makes you feel as though you have stepped into another world. It's a place of legends and natural beauty, a perfect introduction to Vietnam's stunning landscapes. Then, we will travel to the mountains of Sapa, a land of terraced rice fields, and home to many of Vietnam's ethnic minority groups. We will ride a cable car to the very top of Fancy Pan, the highest peak in Indochina, and walk through traditional villages to learn about local life. Finally, our adventure will lead us to the coast. In Daang, we will see the famous Golden Bridge held up by giant stone hands and explore the mysterious Marble Mountains. Our journey will end in the enchanting town of Hoan, where colorful lanterns light up the river at night, creating a magical atmosphere that feels like a dream. This trip is designed for anyone visiting Vietnam for the first time. We will travel by bus, by boat, and even on foot to get a real sense of the country. I will share with you the best places to eat, simple tips for getting around, and my own personal impressions of this incredible land. Vietnam is more than just a place on a map. It is an experience that touches all your senses. It is the taste of fresh herbs in a bowl of pho, the sound of motorbikes in a busy city, and the warmth of a smile from a stranger. So pack your bags, and let's begin this unforgettable journey together. Our first full day begins in the very soul of Hanoi, the Old Quarter. This part of the city is a wonderful maze of 36 streets, each one once dedicated to a specific craft or trade. There's a street for silk, a street for silver, and even a street for bamboo products. Walking here is an adventure in itself. The narrow lanes are filled with motorbikes, street food vendors, and small shops selling everything you can imagine. The sounds and smells are a feast for the senses. You can hear the chatter of people, the sizzle of food cooking on open grills, and the constant, friendly beeping of horns. It's a place that feels alive, full of energy from morning until late at night. In the center of all this activity lies a peaceful oasis, Hoan Kiem Lake. The name means Lake of the Returned Sword, and it is tied to a beautiful legend about an emperor and a magic sword. It is the perfect place to escape the city's hustle. In the early morning you can see locals practicing Tai Chi by the water's edge, their slow, graceful movements, a beautiful contrast to the busy streets nearby. We took a slow walk around the lake, crossing the bright red Huc Bridge to reach Ngoc Son Temple, a small but lovely temple sitting on a tiny island. It is a place of calm and reflection, and it feels like the spiritual heart of the city. One of the most thrilling experiences in Hanoi is a visit to Train Street. This is a narrow residential street with a real railway track running right through it. People live in houses that are just a few feet from the tracks, and cafes have set up small tables and chairs right beside them. When it is time for the train to pass, everyone quickly moves their things inside. Then, a huge train rumbles through, so close you could almost touch it. It is an incredible sight, and shows how adaptable and creative the people of Hanoi are. The cafe owners are very organized and will tell you exactly when the train is coming, so you can find a safe spot to watch. As the sun begins to set, the city takes on a new kind of beauty. We visited the Tran Quoc Pagoda, the oldest Buddhist temple in Hanoi, located on an island in the larger West Lake. The pagoda is stunning against the warm colors of the evening sky, and it is a popular spot for photographers. Seeing this ancient, elegant structure reflected in the calm water was a truly peaceful moment. It was a wonderful way to end our first day of exploring, reminding us of the deep history and spirituality that flows through this modern, ever-moving city. It's a place where the past and present live side by side in perfect harmony. A trip to Hanoi would not be complete without trying its world-famous coffee. Vietnam is one of the largest coffee producers in the world, and the people here have turned it into an art form. We started our morning at Café Daang, a small, hidden cafe famous for inventing egg coffee. It sounds a little strange, but it is absolutely delicious. It is made with strong Vietnamese coffee, topped with a creamy, sweet foam, made from egg yolks and condensed milk. It tastes like a liquid tiramisu, and is a wonderful treat. We also visited Loading Tea Cafe, a charming spot in a beautiful old building, where the brewed coffee and vintage atmosphere made us feel like we had stepped back in time. Of course, you cannot talk about Vietnamese food without mentioning pho. This famous noodle soup is the country's national dish, and you can find it everywhere in Hanoi, from street stalls to fancy restaurants. We decided to try a bowl at a local place that had been awarded a Michelin star for its amazing quality. The broth was rich and flavorful, cooked for hours with spices like star anise and cinnamon. It was served with tender slices of beef, fresh rice noodles, and a plate of herbs like basil and mint. Adding fresh chili and a squeeze of lime made it perfect. It was more than just a meal. It was a warm, comforting experience. Hanoi's street food scene is one of the best in the world, and exploring it is a true adventure. As we wandered through the old quarter, we stopped to try banh mi, a classic Vietnamese sandwich. A crispy baguette is filled with grilled pork, pâté, fresh vegetables like cucumber and carrots, and a delicious sauce. It is a perfect mix of French and Vietnamese flavors. Later in the evening, we explored the lively beer street, where locals and tourists sit on tiny plastic stools, drinking cheap local beer and sharing plates of grilled meats and snacks. The atmosphere is friendly and buzzing with energy, a perfect way to experience Hanoi's nightlife. For a final treat, we visited the Hanoi Night Market, which takes over the streets of the old quarter on weekends. It's a fantastic place to try all sorts of interesting snacks and sweets. We found a stall selling king roti, which are warm, soft buns, with a crispy coffee-flavored topping and a sweet filling inside. The smell of them baking was irresistible. Eating these fresh, hot buns while walking through the crowded, colorful market was a perfect end to our culinary tour of Hanoi. The city's food is simple, fresh, and incredibly tasty, and it tells the story of its culture in every single bite. Today, we leave the busy city behind for a while and travel to one of the natural wonders of the world, Ha Long Bay. This incredible place is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and it is easy to see why. The name Ha Long means descending dragon. And legend says that dragons created the bay's thousands of islands to protect Vietnam from invaders. As our cruise boat sailed out onto the emerald green water, we were surrounded by nearly 2,000 limestone karsts and islets of all shapes and sizes. They rise straight up from the sea like giant sculptures, covered in lush green trees. It is a landscape that feels ancient and magical. Our day cruise took us deeper into the heart of the bay, weaving between the towering limestone pillars. The air was fresh and clean, and the only sound was the gentle hum of the boat's engine. It was so peaceful to sit on the deck and just watch the stunning scenery drift by. We passed floating fishing villages, where families have lived for generations, their colorful houses built on rafts. It is amazing to see how people have adapted to life on the water. We also had the chance to go kayaking, paddling our small boats through quiet lagoons and into hidden caves. It was a wonderful way to get up close to the magnificent rock formations. One of the highlights of our trip was a visit to one of the bay's famous caves. We explored Tien Kung Cave, also known as the Heavenly Palace Cave. Inside, we found a huge chamber filled with stalactites and stalagmites that have formed over millions of years. They have been lit with colorful lights, which makes them look like mythical creatures and fantastical scenes. Our guide told us stories and legends associated with the different rock shapes, which brought the cave to life. It felt like we were walking through an underground palace, created by nature itself. It was a truly awe-inspiring experience that made us feel very small in the face of such natural beauty. As our day on the water came to an end, the sun began to set, casting a warm, golden glow over the entire bay. The limestone karsts became dark silhouettes against the orange and pink sky. It was a breathtaking sight, and a perfect moment for taking photographs. We enjoyed a delicious seafood lunch on the boat, with fresh fish and prawns caught right from the bay. The journey back to Hanoi was quiet, as everyone reflected on the incredible beauty we had just witnessed. Ha Long Bay is a place that stays with you long after you have left, a reminder of the sheer power and artistry of the natural world. After the grand seascape of Ha Long Bay, we journeyed south of Hanoi to a place that is often called Ha Long Bay on land. This is Ninh Binh, a region of stunning natural beauty, where limestone mountains rise not from the sea, but from a sea of bright green rice paddies. The landscape here is just as dramatic and breathtaking, but it has a quieter, more pastoral charm. Our base for exploration was Tam Kok, which means 3 caves. The best way to see this area is by taking a traditional sampan boat ride along the Ngo Daang River, which winds its way through the rice fields and at the feet of the towering karsts. We climbed into a small wooden boat, rowed by a local woman who used her feet to guide the oars with incredible skill. This is a special technique you will see only in this region. The boat glided silently along the water, and we were surrounded by peace and tranquility. The only sounds were the gentle splashing of the oars and the chirping of birds. On either side of the river, vibrant green rice paddies stretched out to the base of the mountains. We passed local farmers, working in the fields, their conical hats protecting them from the sun. It felt like we were floating through a living painting, a timeless scene of rural Vietnamese life. The boat trip took us through the 3 caves that give Tam Kok its name. These are natural tunnels that the river has carved right through the limestone mountains. As we entered the first cave, the air grew cool and the light dimmed. It was a magical experience to float through the darkness, with the sounds of dripping water echoing around us. When we merged back into the sunlight on the other side, the view was even more spectacular. The journey was a gentle adventure, full of beautiful surprises at every turn of the river. It's a wonderful way to connect with the peaceful rhythm of nature in this part of Vietnam. Before leaving Ninh Binh, we also climbed the 500 steps to the top of Hang Mua, or Mua Cave. It is a bit of a climb, but the reward at the top is absolutely worth it. From the viewpoint, you have a breathtaking panoramic view of the entire Tam Kok Valley. You can see the river snaking its way through the patchwork of rice fields and the majestic karsts stretching out to the horizon. A large stone dragon sits at the top, watching over the landscape. It was the perfect way to see the true scale and beauty of Ninh Binh. This region is a hidden gem, offering a more intimate and serene experience of Vietnam's incredible natural landscapes. From the lowlands of the Red River Delta, we took an overnight bus north to the mountains of Sapa. Waking up here feels like waking up in another world. Sapa is a town perched high in the Hoang Linh Son Mountains, often shrouded in a cool mist. It is famous for its stunning terraced rice fields, which cascade down the mountainsides like giant green staircases. This region is also home to several of Vietnam's ethnic minority groups, including the Hmong and Red Dao people, who have lived here for centuries and preserved their unique cultures and traditions. The air is fresh and crisp, and the scenery is simply spectacular. Our main goal in Sapa was to conquer Phan, the highest mountain in Indochina, standing at an impressive 3,143 meters. In the past, climbing this mountain would have taken several days of difficult trekking. But now, there is a fantastic cable car system that can take you to the top in just 20 minutes. The journey itself is an experience. The cable car holds a Guinness World Record for the longest non-stop 3-rope cable car. As we ascended, we floated high above the beautiful Muang Hoa Valley, with breathtaking views of the terraced fields and tiny villages below. It was like flying over a giant living map. When we reached the top station, there was still a short climb to reach the actual summit. We walked up a series of stone steps, passing by beautiful pagodas, giant Buddha statues, and gardens that have been built right into the mountainside. The air was thin and cool, and clouds drifted all around us, sometimes hiding the view, and then suddenly revealing it again. Reaching the peak and standing next to the metal marker felt like a huge achievement. We were literally on the roof of Indochina, with panoramic views of the surrounding mountains, stretching out in every direction. It was a truly unforgettable and spiritual moment. In the evenings, Sapa town comes alive in a different way. After a day of exploring, we found a local restaurant for a wonderful barbecue dinner. We sat around a small grill and cooked our own skewers of marinated pork, beef, and fresh vegetables. It was a simple, delicious, and warming meal, perfect for the cool mountain climate. Later we took a stroll through the town, visiting the Kong Cafe, which is decorated with old Vietnamese memorabilia and has a very unique, nostalgic charm. Sapa is a place of grand landscapes and simple pleasures, and its beauty is something that will stay in your memory forever. To truly understand Sapa, you must walk through its valleys and visit the villages where local communities live. We took a gentle hike down to Cat Cat Village, one of the oldest villages of the Hmong people. The walk itself was beautiful, following a winding path down the mountainside with stunning views of the valley. As we got closer, we could hear the sound of a waterfall and see the traditional wooden houses of the village. Cat Cat is a popular place for visitors, but it still offers a wonderful glimpse into the traditional Hmong way of life and their deep connection to the land. Inside the village, we saw women in their beautiful, intricate traditional clothing, which they make by hand. They are masters of weaving and dyeing cloth with indigo, a natural plant dye. We watched them at their looms, their hands moving with incredible skill and speed. We also saw a traditional water-powered rice mill, which has been used for generations to grind rice into flour. The village is set around a lovely waterfall, and there are small bridges and pathways that let you explore the area. It was fascinating to see how these communities have lived in harmony with nature for centuries, using its resources in clever and sustainable ways. Sapa is a place where culture is a living, breathing thing. In the evenings, we visited the Sapa night market, which is a vibrant hub of activity. Here, local people from different ethnic groups come to sell their handmade crafts, from embroidered bags and clothing to beautiful silver jewelry. It is a wonderful place to buy unique souvenirs and to support the local communities directly. The market is also full of food stalls, selling delicious local specialities. We tried grilled corn, sweet potatoes, and bamboo tube rice, which is sticky rice cooked inside a tube of bamboo over a charcoal fire. It was simple, tasty, and very satisfying. Our time in Sapa was a journey back in time, a chance to slow down and appreciate a simpler way of life. The Hmong and Dao people we met were incredibly welcoming and proud of their heritage. They shared their culture with us through their crafts, their food, and their stories. Leaving Sapa, we carried with us not just memories of the stunning mountain landscapes, but also a deep respect for the resilient and creative people who call this beautiful region home. It is a place that teaches you about the importance of tradition and community in a rapidly changing world. Our journey then took a big leap south. We took an early bus from Sapa back to Hanoi's airport and caught a short flight to Daang, a vibrant coastal city in central Vietnam. Da Nang feels completely different from Hanoi. It is modern, spacious, and relaxed, with long, sandy beaches stretching along its coastline. The city is famous for its bridges, especially the Dragon Bridge, which is shaped like a giant golden dragon and even breathes fire and water on weekend nights. Renting a motorbike is a popular way to get around here, giving you the freedom to explore the city and its beautiful surroundings at your own pace. One of our first stops in Da Nang was the Marble Mountains. This is a cluster of 5 limestone and marble hills, each one said to represent one of the 5 elements: water, wood, fire, metal, and earth. We chose to climb Tui Sun, the water mountain, which is the largest and most accessible of the 5. The climb involves a series of stone steps that lead you up the mountainside, past beautiful pagodas, shrines, and caves that have been carved right into the rock. The views from the top are spectacular, offering a panoramic look at the city of Da Nang, the coastline, and the other 4 mountains rising from the flat landscape. Inside the Marble Mountains, we discovered hidden wonders. The most impressive was Huyen Kong Cave, a massive, awe-inspiring cavern that was once used as a secret base and hospital during the Vietnam War. Sunlight streams down into the cave through a large hole in the ceiling, illuminating a giant marble Buddha statue and creating a very spiritual and mystical atmosphere. It was a powerful and moving place, a natural cathedral that felt both ancient and full of history. Exploring these caves and pagodas was like stepping into another world, a peaceful sanctuary, just a short drive from the busy city. After a day of exploring, we relaxed by the beach. Da Nang has some of the most beautiful beaches in Vietnam, with soft white sand and clear blue water. We found a lovely little spot called the Herbal Food Truck, where we enjoyed a delicious wood-fired pizza right by the sea as the sun went down. Later that evening, we couldn't resist trying another banh mi from a local street vendor, and it was just as delicious as the ones in Hanoi. Da Nang offers a perfect blend of city life, natural wonders, and coastal relaxation, making it a fantastic destination for any traveler. For our final days, we took a short drive from Daang to the enchanting town of Hoan. This UNESCO World Heritage Site was once a major trading port from the 15th to the 19th century, and its ancient town has been beautifully preserved. Walking through its narrow, pedestrian-only streets feels like stepping back in time. The old buildings are a lovely mix of Vietnamese, Chinese, and Japanese architectural styles, with their yellow-painted walls, wooden shutters, and gray-tiled roofs. During the day, the town is peaceful and charming, perfect for wandering, shopping, and sipping coffee in one of its many stylish cafes. One of the best things to do in Hoi An is simply to get lost in its magical alleyways. We visited the old house of Tan Kai, a perfectly preserved merchant's home that has been in the same family for 7 generations. It gave us a fascinating look at what life was like for a wealthy trader centuries ago. We also explored the Museum of Trade, Ceramics, which showcases the town's history as a hub for the ceramics trade. For a great view over the town, we climbed to the rooftop of the 92 Station Cafe. From there, we could see all the beautiful tiled roofs and the Thu Bon River flowing gently by. As evening approaches, Hoi An transforms into a fairy tale world. The entire ancient town is lit up by thousands of colorful silk lanterns, hanging from every shop, restaurant, and tree. The soft glow of the lanterns reflects on the water of the river, creating a truly magical and romantic atmosphere. We took a small wooden boat for a ride on the river, and we were given a paper lantern with a candle inside. We made a wish and released it onto the water, where it joined hundreds of other floating lights. It was an incredibly beautiful and moving experience, one of the most memorable moments of our entire trip. On our last day, we reflected on our incredible 10-day journey through Vietnam. From the organized chaos of Hanoi's Old Quarter to the majestic peaks of Sapa and the tranquil lantern-lit streets of Hoi An, we had seen so much. We had tasted incredible food, witnessed breathtaking landscapes, and met some of the kindest and most welcoming people in the world. Vietnam is a country of incredible resilience, rich culture, and endless beauty. It is a place that captures your heart and inspires you to explore more. This journey was just a small taste of all that Vietnam has to offer, and it left us with a deep appreciation for this special country and a promise to one day return.